The sudden appearance of an alien warship effortlessly turned the USS Sampson, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, along with all its crew members, into ashes. Witnessing this, the captain of the nearby USS John Paul Jones, another Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, immediately ordered the 127mm/62 caliber naval gun to open fire at full force. However, the shells fired had no effective impact on the alien warship. The alien warship marked the USS John Paul Jones as a threat and launched its own shells. Despite the close-in weapon system's best efforts to intercept, a stray shell hit the bridge, resulting in the unfortunate deaths of the captain and the chief of staff.
What kind of duck wagon?
At this moment, Lieutenant Alex Hopper, the protagonist, held the highest rank among those remaining and thus became the new captain by default. To avenge his fallen comrades, he resolutely gave the order to attack the alien warship with all firepower, but his subordinate reported that all the shells had been used up, and it would take 3 minutes to reload. So the USS John Paul Jones rushed towards the alien warship, intending to collide with it. Sensing the threat, the alien warship prepared to fire its shells. The captain of the Japanese destroyer Myoko, upon seeing this situation, admired the courage of the USS John Paul Jones and ordered his warship to open fire in support. However, the alien warship shifted its target and rained shells down on the Myoko. Hopper had no choice but to abandon the ramming plan and instead turned to rescue the crew members of the Myoko who had fallen into the water. Just then, the USS Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group rushed to the scene for support, but the alien mothership hiding in the sea suddenly released 2 beams of white light, creating an electromagnetic shield that covered the sea area within a radius of hundreds of miles. The communications signals of the fleet were instantly disrupted. The dispatched F-18 Super Hornet carrier-based aircraft lost control and crashed into pieces. The fleet was trapped outside the electromagnetic shield, and the USS John Paul Jones was temporarily ignored. It turns out there is a reason for all this. It turned out that 7 years ago, American scientists, in an attempt to search for extraterrestrial life, sent signals into deep space using satellites. 7 years later, 5 unidentified objects flew towards Earth. One of the alien warships responsible for communication accidentally collided with an Earth satellite and crashed into a coastal city in China, causing significant damage. The remaining 4 warships landed on the surface of the Pacific Ocean. The USS John Paul Jones rescued the survivors of the Myoko and accidentally fished out an alien. Hopper opened the alien's helmet and found that its face resembled that of a human, and what's more, the alien was still alive. The alien suddenly launched an attack, and then the ship's hull exploded. Several armored aliens appeared. Since the crew had no weapons, the aliens took their companions away, leaving one alien to sneak in and study the battleship engine. When the crew members discovered this, they, along with Hopper, went to stop the alien but were easily subdued by it.
To CIC.
But in the end, with their perfect cooperation, they defeated the alien. At this time, the alien warship took action again. It dispatched 3 electrified wheels of fire to attack the military base on land and also separated a small spaceship to capture the radar base. The wheels of fire with destructive power caused great damage wherever they passed. Since their communications spacecraft crashed unexpectedly, they could only establish contact through this super radar. They intended to use the radar to establish a communication station and request support from their home planet. The USS John Paul Jones, due to the loss of communication signals, was as blind as a bat. The captain of the Myoko came up with a way to determine the position of the alien warship by using the fluctuation amplitude of the tsunami warning buoy. After confirming the position, the USS John Paul Jones launched Tomahawk cruise missiles, but all of them were easily evaded by the alien warship. The alien warship counterattacked by firing shells, and the USS John Paul Jones narrowly escaped being hit. And during the counterattack, it also hit an alien warship that had just emerged. On the other side, when Hopper's girlfriend Sam learned that aliens had taken over the radar base, she and Cal Zapata decided to steal the radio transmitter from the base and send a message to the warships. After successfully getting in touch with Hopper, Hopper decided to level the island. Only in this way could they effectively prevent the aliens from sending out signals. But a third alien warship appeared and managed to avoid being locked on by the USS John Paul Jones through its agile movements. At a critical moment, Hopper remembered that a crew member had once said that the alien's helmet was similar to a pair of super sunglasses, and he speculated that they were afraid of sunlight. Therefore, he ordered the entire ship to enter a state of highest combat readiness and formulated a plan with the captain of the Myoko. The destroyer sailed towards an island and used the island's mountain to block the sun. When the sun rose above the mountain, Hopper and the captain of the Myoko aimed their Barrett sniper rifles at the cockpit of the alien warship. The blinding sunlight made it impossible for the aliens to open their eyes. Hopper took the opportunity to order, "Open fire." Finally, the alien warship was successfully destroyed. However, two wheels of fire quickly rushed towards the destroyer, and Hopper could only order everyone to abandon the ship. The destroyer was destroyed and sank to the bottom of the sea. At this point, there were only 2 hours left before the aliens could use the radar to send a signal to their home planet. Hopper set his sights on the USS Missouri, a battleship from World War II. After boarding the battleship, the crew found that they didn't know how to operate it. Fortunately, a group of retired sailors who had once served on this battleship happened to be participating in an event there. With their help, the USS Missouri set sail again. Soon, Hopper detected the alien mothership, and at the same time, they were also discovered by it. The weapon system of the alien mothership rose up, ready to fire its shells. Hopper had a flash of inspiration and ordered the gun turrets to aim away from the mothership. Meanwhile, he gave the order to turn full left rudder and move at full speed. And then drop the anchor. The alien mothership, not understanding this move, still pressed the firing button. 2 turrets of the Missouri were hit and exploded. The remaining weapons of the Missouri launched a fierce counterattack, and finally, several shells hit the ammunition compartment of the alien mothership, blowing it into pieces, and the electromagnetic shield dissipated along with it. However, the alien spaceship still had combat power and released the wheels of fire again. In desperation, Hopper fired the last remaining shell at the radar base. At the crucial moment, the electromagnetic shield disappeared, and the F-18 Super Hornet carrier-based aircraft dispatched by the USS Ronald Reagan for support arrived and destroyed the wheels of fire. Thus, humanity successfully overcame the powerful alien civilization